Hi, everyone. I really wanted to come on here tonight to really talk to you guys about what's happening with this Clancy case and where do we go from here when it comes to choosing our partner. And it's very scary to think about the things that do we really know who we marry? Who are we laying next to every night when we go to bed? What are their thoughts? What are they thinking? Are they happy? Are they not happy? This case that is currently going on right now is very, very dark, and there's a lot of mixed emotions going on right now, and I really don't want to give too much of my opinion. I want to really touch base on choosing wisely as a partner, but how do we do that? You know, are the signs there? Take, for example, the Chris Watts case and what happened. He unalived his entire family. How do we know? What are the signs there? Are they, do we miss them because we're so preoccupied with everything going on? We'll never be able to answer the question what triggered people to do such horrific things. And it just will never. It's very sad. It is very, very sad because people just can't walk away. People just can't say, you know what, I'm not in love anymore. It's time for me to move on. I have to find, you know, a new life. Yes, it's devastating. And to the women out there, it's scary as a woman because you put all of your faith and all of your trust in a man to protect, provide, profess, and everything can be going hunky dory. And then all of a sudden, one night, in just a matter of hours, poof, your whole life is just turned upside down. Why does this keep happening? Is there a way to just even prevent this? I don't think there is, honestly, because again, nobody ever takes off the mask. They hide behind the mask. But we go to bed every night laying next to somebody. We're putting our lives in their hands. Can we trust them? I don't know. This is scary stuff. And at what point can a man just walk away? Just walk away. Don't harm the children, don't harm your wife. You want a new life, go be happy. And this is my message to the women out there. You have to learn to, when a man starts to become emotionally distant from you, do not fight for him. Do not try to press, what is going on and I love you and all this other stuff. Don't press him. Let him go. Because at the end of the day, we would rather see you guys unharmed versus something were to happen. People are just snapping like crazy. I've been seeing more and more of it going on. I feel like every time I turn in the news, somebody, has hurt their family, just gone, like just completely gone. And at what point, affairs, that's never going to change. People are still going to have affairs. They're not going to stop. It's never going to change. But we as a society, we have to start learning to recognize these signs. Maybe it's just going to come to the point where people just don't get legally married anymore. So that if another person wants to walk away, let them walk away. Just let them. This is why it is so important for women, you know, as hard as it may be, because we have the Cinderella dream. We want to get married and we want the family and the house with the white picket fence. But who does it ever work out for? And everybody wants that. But people in this particular case, they were married for what, 7, 8 years? Look at the tragedy of this. I, it just astounds me, and it makes me think, where do we go from here as a society? How do we move forward and protect our women from future relationships? Not men, been the culprit in these situations. Of course I have. But I feel that it's, at the end of the day, again, it goes back to, do we really know who we are choosing as a partner. And people can put on a facade. We don't we don't know deep down who they truly are. And it scares me to think that are people missing the signs. And with social media and everything like that, people compare so much, and that's why I did that video on, social media and how it's destroying relationships, and it's destructive because people think there's another life out there that could be much better. Getting married, having kids, is highly, highly stressful. And when we are in a high pressured, high stress situation, our first instinct is, of course, to run. We want out. We just want to get out of here because we can't take the pressure. And that was like one of the situations that I was dealing with. My ex husband, he wasn't happy. I was like, you know what? I think you should move out. I think you should move out. And he did, because I think if I wouldn't have said that and he would have stayed, I think things would have gotten worse. What is the answer here? Where do we go from here as a society? How do we teach our women to protect themselves? And it doesn't matter if they have a job or not. If a man is not happy, how do we go forward in not wanting to? I don't want to see this anymore. These cases, these men, annihilating your whole family. All these people that are left hurt. And at the end of the day, it's the children. The children are affected the most. The children, they're gone. They had their whole lives ahead of them because somebody wasn't happy. Somebody wasn't doing well. Now, in her case, I'm not going to give my opinion on whether I think she's guilty or she's innocent. But what I can tell you, this was a mother that was struggling. She was struggling mentally, asking for help. She had no help. And as a mother, I've been there. I have been there. When I was married, I thank God that I had my family. But going forward, what signs are we going to have to look for? And are we going to have to constantly look over our shoulder? People that are currently married and that are happily married, now when they see this stuff, are they going to think to themselves like, wow, do I really know the person that I married? And now they're going to start thinking. And one of the things I will tell you is one thing that I did when I got divorced, and I'm not saying everybody else should do this, but I never asked for alimony. Whatever child support that he offered, I took it. Was it enough? No, because my life mattered. I didn't want to deal with the wrath. I didn't want to deal with, I was like, you know what? I'll just work extra and figure it out, move on. That's what I did. I didn't want to create any more fiction than there already was. This is heartbreaking. Everybody wants to believe in love and to believe that we can trust people and to believe that we can have somewhat of a fairy tale relationship. But at the end of the day, do you really know who you are married to? It's very sad. It's very sad. It's a sad day in our world. It's a sad day. It's just sad. I hope my message comes across to really think about if you are considering getting married. And especially, I really think prenuptial agreements would be helpful moving forward in life, because nobody can, honestly, they can't decide whether they want to be married. One day they want to be married, next day they want to be divorced, they want to be single. I think prenuptial agreements are important. If you as a mom are feeling stressed out, maybe talk to your husband, pack up the kids, go stay with your parents for a while, and everybody take a break. So one thing I actually do recommend for, I think, people that are considering divorce, they're just not happy. You know what? One person, go move out for a while. 1 to 2 years. After those 2 years are up, decide if you still want to be together. If you don't want to be together, get divorced. Sometimes people need a break from each other, but this particular case is very sad because I see it happening more and more and more. And we really need to start teaching our young women to walk away when the pressure rises, because obviously people just snap. And do they want to? No, nobody wants to, but you have to look at it that way and protect yourself at the end of the day, as sad as it may be. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I hope this video resonated with you in some way, shape, or form. Again, always believe that there is true love out there. Like, don't let this take your, hope away of if you are single and you do want to find a good person. But it's kind of like keep your head on a swivel and keep one eye open, which is sad to say. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.